What's good, superstars? Back with another Vivi video. You got Superstar Joe. You got Superstar Rob in the building. The duo is back together. How's it going, Rob?
Pretty good. You?
Not bad. You just went for a run. You got the adrenaline going. I could feel the adrenaline in those punches.
Yeah, I got lots of energy still because I went very slow.
There you go. So you saved all the energy for the video. Guys,
right.
If you are new here, do not forget, become a superstar. Smash the subscribe button down below. Hit the bell notification so you know whenever we post. And you never know what kind of energy we're going to be having on these videos. So you definitely want to check every single one out. And at the bell notification will let you know exactly when they come out. You can also join the VIP world. $2.99 a month. Hit the join button underneath the video. You get a star next to your name. Access to our draw spreadsheets, price prediction spreadsheets, buys and sells. I'm trying to download the sheet, and veve.me is like absolutely not working. So until that is fixed, I'm not able to copy and paste my hundreds of transactions for you guys. But as soon as that's fixed, so we will get caught up. I've been trying to do it the last couple of days. It's not working. Maybe I can talk to like Omi Daily Bernie. He could just like vet my entire wallet and put it out. But make a video, you know what I mean? A private video for VIP. We'll figure it out. But there's lots of other perks. First dibs on merch, star in the universe every single month. I was actually talking to the two-time star in the universe champion, Granddaddy Crypto, earlier today. So, I mean, great perk. He's already looking forward to when we can travel into the universe, and he's going to be looking for his stars.
Yeah, I'll be sick
on that tour. Follow us, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Come chat in the Discord. It's in the description down below. And also, if you want to send us something, like Superstar Manu sent us this beautiful card with a bunch of the Girl Scout cookies. You can become a Superstar Hall of Famer. So,
yeah, you know what? Who mixed up our slides there, Joe?
I don't know what is going on.
You got who mixed up? It's the VIP, then it's the Twitter.
Somebody did something. I don't know what's going on. But who did the last video? I don't know.
yeah, you got me. But I didn't move anything. I didn't change anything.
I don't know what's happening. We're getting pranked. Here is the Star Wars drop that happened today. Rob, did you go for the posters?
I didn't go for it. I don't know. Did it sell out? I had a feeling it was going to sell out. I don't know.
I heard it eventually sold out.
Okay, I just find that with Vivi and Star Wars posters, even though I hate posters so much, they do tend to sell out. I took a look. I didn't do a true price prediction on it. I did take a look at yesterday's video. I talked about it. And I think the floor of the comment on the last poster was like 21 gems. And all the other ones were over 30. So I figured that actually it wasn't the worst drop to go for if you're a flipper. And these Star Wars, they tend to sell out. I don't know what it is. I know people love posters like, oh, Veveverse this, Veveverse this. It doesn't exist yet. But maybe one day posters will have their time. But it's not right now.
Yeah. I think the ultra rare is still going above retail right now, but it's interesting because they're not even FE,
just ultra rare.
No, the ultra rare is going up. What are they? $30?
They're 30. Yeah.
So the ultra rare is at 41 right now.
Take a look at the rare.
The marketplace is going really slow. It's not even.
Yeah, because the one with the Vader hat, the Vader helmet's going to do well. Anything like that's going to do well.
Something that people can hope to display in their showrooms, right?
Exactly.
I have a vendetta against posters for the time being. I don't know when that will end, but for now, you can't get me buying a poster on Vivi.
Yeah, boycott posters until airdrops are delivered.
Until I get my James Bond airdrop. Yeah, I mean, speaking of that, there's actually something I wanted to show you guys, but
yeah,
we're gonna get into that in just a second. We're also getting Veb. I don't know if you talked about this yesterday. I've never heard of this guy.
Did. At the time, they didn't have an article, but. The thing with that, I've watched the other movies. I have not seen the latest Ant-Man movie. So clearly this guy, I don't know. Let me know below if you guys seen the movie. If he's actually
1,000 editions, $30.
Yeah, but I just don't know the character. But it sounds like it's a reasonable mint number.
It looks like it's a still, not animated, but it is a secret rare. So, and it's gonna complete a set, right? So it's MCP.
1,000's a decent mint number size, I think, right now for collectibles.
Yeah,
you can go 1,000. It's okay.
I wonder how it's going to do. We'll see. I've never heard of him. I think there's a lot of people who haven't heard of that.
I've never heard of him, but I haven't seen the movie. So if you've seen it, let us know below his relevance in the movie.
So we just talked a little bit about how I'm very upset with posters, and it's all stemming from the James Bond airdrop, which everyone loves to troll me on Twitter. And our good friend, Mr. Puddin Cheeks, I know that he doesn't do YouTube, but he did come out and make an unlisted video. So you're not going to find it, but he came out and made an unlisted video that I believe he had the help of maybe ChatGPT to produce. So I'm going to play this for you guys. Hopefully you can hear it, but it's called Storytime Volume 1, The Tale of Superstar Joe. And I believe this is F.A. Tim Tuckerson. So, I mean, if you're familiar with OG Put in Cheeks stuff, you got Ted, you got Tuck, and now you got Tim.
Hello, superstars. It's time for a story. Oh, hear ye, come gather round and listen to a tale of woe of a man named Superstar Joe, whose fortune took a blow. He had heard tale of an airdrop, a treasure most rare, of James Bond collectibles beyond compare. So he did download the Vivi app with much excitement and glee, and waited with bated breath for what was to be. Alas, when the airdrop did arrive, it was not meant to be, for Superstar Joe found himself in deep misery. Despite his best efforts, he could not claim what was rightfully his, and the James Bond collectibles slipped from his grasp with a cruel twist. Oh, the tears he shed, the curses he swore, as he watched his dreams crumble and his heart became sore. And so, in tragic fashion, Superstar Joe was undone by a cruel twist of fate and a treasure that he never won. May we learn from his misfortune and heed the warning call to always be wary and never trust fate's fickle thrall.
That was yo. Where'd you get that wig from?
Amazing.
Take it.
Amazing.
Take it. He wore a wig for that. He wore a wig for that.
Put in Cheeks is like, honestly, he goes all out all the time for the community. He's one of the best parts of the community, and we got to give him the standing ovation. If he was here in person, it would have made it. That would have been the only way better if he was doing a live reenactment. But the effort that he went to troll me on the airdrop. I mean, I'm this close to getting over it because of that, but I'm still not over it.
To be fair, though, he did recognize in the poem that it is rightfully yours, and he did not get it. So it was a very accurate poem.
I know.
The poem, it said the truth. It was
I feel like I've
yours.
been recognized. Omi Daily Burns made sure that it was known. Vivi's acknowledged that they've made mistakes.
That's right.
It's never been made whole. So like, I just always will have this void inside of me. You know, I mean, we've got people putting fake posters behind me in trolls. Like, when is it going to end, Rob? When is it going to end?
I actually have something I want to say about that, but I'm going to save it for later.
Okay. So, speaking of errors, you talked about this yesterday, but Omi Daily Burn put out an update video of the, or post of the posters for the Mickey Platinum Moments drop, right? And this line got me right here. I'm sorry, but Dumbo number 30 was captured by the Vivi zookeepers.
Yeah, that's. I love the VV Zoo line. The puns are amazing on this.
Our friends in this community are hilarious. But yeah, so he's showing that off. I wanted to talk a little bit about this because if you guys did not know, the person who was affected was actually in our VIP. It is Hippie2323 over here. And
now I didn't want to say his name before because I didn't know if he would want it to be revealed. But I asked him today, and he said that he was okay with it. So Hippie let us know that he had this number 30, and sure enough, I mean they he told us they restricted his account. Once they restricted his account, they sent him the email. They took it out of his wallet and they replaced it. I think with number 45, is it, Joe? Yeah,
right here. It's right here. He's listed. So he wanted us to make sure that we gave it a shout out. Number 45, if you want a piece of Vivi history right here. It's actually lower than the price that he initially listed it for. So it's definitely going for, I mean, 1,000 gems for a number 45 of a Disney IP poster. I mean, posters not for me, but I know that there are a lot of people. This is going to be one of the most scarce posters on the app, right?
Well, that's the thing. The scarcity of these posters right now is making people's eyebrows kind of raise, because I am personally not aware of just pure Disney IP collectibles that are this scarce. Like, it is extreme. If scarcity matters, and we've done videos on this, and I'm of the opinion that utility will ultimately trump all. But if you believe scarcity is always number one, then you cannot ignore these Disney posters. They're just so low in their mid numbers.
Yeah,
you can't ignore them. Like I think is it 190 now or something? What did it say?
Let's check it right here. He's got for Dumbo 180. Yeah,
180.
So you're sub 200 still.
It's but we gotta wait until April 14th. That uncapping date is April 26th. We still got 12 more days to go. So those numbers I think are going to start accelerating up right till the last minute.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, people are still deciding what they're going to do. Speaking of shout outs and giving people a voice who are in the VIP, we got VIP Tron Skywalker, who is trying to sell his Emperor's Fist. He's got it circled for you guys. 490 gems for number 1279. This is a perk from the VIP. We will advertise for you. Needs a new home. He's moving to Mars, so wants to make sure that his Vader is taken care of.
Yeah, look out! When you look out into the superstar constellation, you can actually see Mars, that little red planet, pretty well right now. So
yeah, exactly. Yesterday you were talking about I think Venus. You said.
Oh, it's actually so bright right now. You go outside, it's so bright.
Was waiting for this post. Thanks. So this is a good example of something that I was hoping that they would do. There was some talk about these web extensions. I think they're third-party stuff, and they're saying like, look what you can do with Vivi. You can find out how much stuff sells for. I forget the exact name of the application. You've probably seen it. I don't really want to advertise it because I don't want people to get stuck if it ends up being nefarious. We don't know too much about it. It might not be. It might be just an extra tool to help you with your market research. But I wanted to know if it was going to be condoned and supported by Vivi, and it appears that it is not. The official Vivi web and mobile apps are the only supported methods of interacting with the platform. We cannot be responsible for accounts compromised by third-party apps that require your login credentials. So, I mean, if you're logging in through a third-party app or an extension or something like that, you're on your own. Vivi's now tweeted an official statement about it, which I think is something that they had to do. So good on them for that. But
is that why they did it? Because of which company is it?
I didn't really want to talk about it.
You don't want to mention it. I actually don't even. I actually am not. When I saw that tweet, I was not aware of what company they were referring to. So there's reason to believe that they stole people's accounts. Then, like, do we have any confirmation?
No, they haven't, and it's a person who's prevalent in the community who has quoted up something that allows you to access sale prices, like people's. I think it even gets you like into wallets and stuff like that. But it's something that's newer.
Yeah, but and he expects you to give your Vivi password.
You have to.
Username. No, you can't.
Exactly.
Never do that. That's a terrible deal. That's a terrible deal.
So but as good as it looks, and all the perks that you get from it, I mean, just be very careful, guys.
But if you think about it, maybe what it does is it automatically downloads from the get whatever the omi.me. But if you have someone's wallet address, that's really all you have to. You should only need to provide your wallet address, because if he has this ability to do this, what would you need the password for? If it's going to be able to, is it if it's just for within your own account? If you have the wallet address, if you have access to the blockchain, you should be able to immediately figure it out.
Yeah, I think it's extra featured. Maybe it gives you like price action that you've done. I have no idea. So
maybe
I haven't gone into it.
Sounds bad though.
Yeah. But once I seen it come through, I said, listen, I think Vivi needs to talk about this because people will get tricked, because it actually looks like Vivi's website, because it's basically a wrap on their website.
Really?
It looks like Vivi's website. Then this little thing pops up on the side and gives you all this extra stuff. Like, kind of reminded me of like Omi the Clown's Ecomi Wiki back in the day when you had like that side panel.
Yeah,
the side panel. It's not by him. It's not his product. So
and he never asked you to put in the password of Vivi.
Yeah, none of that. Speaking of putting cheeks, Redneck Inspiration number 22 was actually hilarious. I was cracking up on that. So go check that out. I'm not going to play that one. And for Ecomi, putting the Nintendo Vivi collab together for Vivi, so they can just like copy this and paste it into their bottom corner whenever they release Mario, right?
I guess so. We're still waiting.
Hashtag soon also being used here. So I mean, we've got some reach going on in the community.
Did you see this, Rob? Always doing a great job. What's this one?
So Alfred Kahn put out something a couple weeks ago. Says, so excited that the one of a kind Yu-Gi-Oh card that we presented to Tyler as a wish he requested from Make-A-Wish will be auctioned off on eBay starting April 19th. This card was made exclusively by Yu-Gi-Oh Sensei about 18 years ago, and I personally presented it to Tyler in my office in New York City. It is being billed as the rarest and most valuable Yu-Gi-Oh card ever.
Yeah.
So happy that Tyler beat his cancer and can enjoy his card's value today. Like, what kind of story is that? That's ridiculous.
Crazy story. I did see this actually on LinkedIn. I saw this. It was 2 weeks ago he posted this.
Yeah.
And I saw it. I was like, wow. I mean, he has a one-of-a-kind Yu-Gi-Oh card. That's pretty insane. And, of course, it's a great story. The kid actually was able to pull through, and now he can actually enjoy the value. It's so true. He can actually benefit now from this. Great story.
Shout out to Forza Vivi for sharing that. Another great friend in the community. Speaking of friends in the community, Vivi Investments putting out over 30 creator video, basically talking about more fun facts about the creators on YouTube and on Twitter. And we are in this video. We have not seen it yet, but we have provided our fun facts. And I can't wait for you guys to learn more about us. So whenever that comes out, we'll definitely share it.
Small snippet. I think it's we've spoken with them. It's a small snippet, but make sure you guys check it out.
Yeah. And here's Rob's video yesterday about the sub 40 fiasco that's been going on. And I think this kind of
from the VV Zoo
from the VVs. I think it's a great segue into the video topic, Rob. So why don't you get started?
Well, it was what you were mentioning earlier about the bond poster, right? And accountability, I think, is the key thing here. I mean, there's so much fun. I mean, we wanted to do this video together. I kind of touched upon some of these topics yesterday, but this whole talk about the sub 40, the mistake, going in people's wallet, point things, it all stems to accountability. And what we're finding here is that Vivi needs to show another level of accountability than they've already shown to help take them to the next level, get the community back on their side. And that comment I think I had with the bond poster is that it's been recognized now through the community, through data, that without a doubt, it's proven you met the requirements to have that poster.
Mm-hmm.
And there was you and 17 total people. You're one of 17 people who met the requirements but did not get the poster. And it's been recognized and nothing's been done about it. However, Vivi's made a mistake. And they immediately do something about it. They give away the wrong poster, which, by the way, I'm going to do a little sidetrack here. People were saying, oh, all the 40s are for Disney. That's not true. I never remember at any point them saying numbers 1 to 40 all are owned by Disney. Yeah. It was more like a range, meaning some of the top 40 are owned by Disney. So they can fix their wrong by just simply, if number 30 is the one that's promised to Disney, give them number 31. You can do other ways, but they didn't want to do it because in their mind, all the ones that are under 40 are no-go. But they made the mistake, and the point is they corrected it immediately. But with you and the other 17 people, there has been no correction. Yeah. So they're picking and choosing what to correct now. Pretty sure if somebody makes a mistake on the market, they're not going to go help them, right? If they accidentally sell their partner statue for $1, they're not going to go help them.
Right.
The mistake, I'm just saying the mistake. If you miss a decimal, they're not going to help them. So Vivi is not showing the level of accountability.
They should rethink that because
they don't have the resources.
Think about their market fee. They're only going to get like 70 cents. They could have got like way more money.
They don't have the resources for that mistake. But where they can fix a mistake and they do have the resources is your bond poster. So blown airdrops. They tried to make it right again with the Battlestar Galactica. Remember that? Yeah. They botched it again. They got to keep finding ways to hold themselves accountable when mistakes are made. Your mistake was never fixed, and I think it's a reasonable one to fix. And there's more examples. Why don't you give us some?
I think you hit it. But yeah, it's not just about the James Bond airdrop. I mean, there are so many other problems that have happened. I mean, with airdrops, it started with the Blue and Beta, where there wasn't communication about how it was going to happen. And then basically there was speculation of what actually happened and never actually clarified how it worked. Me and you were beneficiaries of Secret Rare Blue and Betas, but there was people who held and sold and got nothing. And it was the same type of deal as the airdrop for the James Bond. Now, I mean, I don't want to keep talking about airdrops because it's not airdrop centric. This topic of accountability. Now, I think that there's been a lot of things that just recently happened, and just yesterday with Hippie getting number 30. Now, to me, this is worse than the first time because you knew it happened already. You knew that this was a problem, and you never ironed out the kinks and made sure that it wouldn't happen again. And stuff happens, I get it, and sometimes stuff happens more than once. But it's just the way that things are solved. It's the way, and I'm telling you, we are in the community. We are talking to people every day. We're in multiple group chats with people, Discord, everyone's chatting. We have a great sense of what people are feeling. And the people who are here supporting you, keeping your app alive, a big percentage of them feel slapped in the face. They feel like you do not care. They feel like you guys feel attacked at Vivi. So therefore, you're going to either not talk, or you're going to give attitude, or you're going to be just not responding in the way that we need to talk. Like, we need to have user retention. We need to have customer service upgrades. There's people who are really good for the community that have had really bad customer service experiences. And it's just, why do we want to have that? Why do we want to come off like that? Not everybody here is replaceable, even if you think that's the case. And if you think that you're going to bring in all these new people, and then the people who were here at the beginning aren't going to be a problem, I mean, that's going to be your biggest problem, because they're going to look to people who have been in the app, people who've been around for 2 years, say, oh, what do you think of this? How's it been going? What's been, and you want that sentiment to change. You want the people who are going to be given those experiences, explaining their experience. You want them to have positive feedback. So you want these videos, not just our videos in the past, but like other videos that are surfacing now. Like we've pretty much always explained how we feel, but I mean, now it's community wide. It's getting bad. There was just a video on Paul Barron Network, 340,000 subscribers, and it was pure negativity in that video. Like, it's just, that's the sentiment. Why do we have this sentiment? Is because accountability has been dropped. It's just, you make a mistake, all the people in the community want is, Vivi, like, you guys say that you made the mistake, come out, formally say it. And if there's a lot of mistakes, then you got to say it a lot of times. It's not just, oh, we're going to say it for every mistake. Yeah, you are, because you got to start to become accountable. You got to start to realize you made a mistake and acknowledge the mistake, and then talk about how the fix is. Like, you never need to give me my airdrop. Like, you can honestly, whatever. You can say, this is how we're dealing with it moving forward. It is what it is. But I want to see, like, moving forward, anything that happens like this. This is yesterday. We're within 24 hours of another mistake that was dealt with incorrectly, in my opinion, and not properly. Like, knowing how community felt about it as well, and there was no change. There was nothing. It's just like it was an oversight. We're too busy with MCP. We're too busy with Veveverse coming tomorrow. It's just too many things are going on, and it's not being, the community is not being put number one. And I think that's the accountability that Vivi needs to start focusing on.
I think the biggest thing with accountability, though, with Vivi has been the missed deadlines, which are self-inflicted issues, right? They've made a lot of promises over the last couple of years. I mean, I think there's a tweet out there that MCP is coming September 2021, right? So there's a lot of things that have been promised to the community, and it's a self-inflicted issue because they don't deliver on them. And I think the poor execution on Vivi side of giving these deadlines and just constantly missing them is something that they got to find a way to get out of, because it makes you lose trust and faith on why so many people are here, on what the vision is, on what can be delivered. All we have is what's here right now, which is we're getting officially licensed Disney, Marvel, and DC collectibles. You might care about the rest. We don't really. But if you're getting licensed collectibles, and let's be honest, it's not the artists that make them huge here. It's Disney, okay, Marvel, DC. That's what makes the app so great. Even though the other stuff is cool, don't get me wrong, Sesame Street, all that stuff is cool. Those are the ones that brought in the majority of the people during the massive hype. So they have all these promises. They're not delivering on them. Obviously, they're having issues, and they just need to find, like every other company in the world with their customers. Okay? It's no different. Every company, no matter how big or how small, always have to be accountable to their customers. You can't be mad if you give a deadline and you miss it, and then people complain. You created the complaint, because they will not, even you can make an argument they will complain if we just never give it. But how can they complain if they don't know it's coming? But the reason why you told them is because you want to bait them. You want to throw out the hook and bait them and say, look what we have coming. Get excited. Go buy more. So they go buy more because you're baiting them every time you tell them about this promise of some beautiful thing. And then it's late and it's not delivered. And it's the same on the OMI side. It's the same on the MCP side. It's the same on the Veveverse side. I mean, I really hope it does come out tomorrow. And then they're going to say, I already know what they're going to say. Oh, well, we just said mid-April. Like it's going to be April 18th. It's the same thing. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what they're going to come up with, but you can't, at this point, there's no reason to have any faith that they can be held accountable to any deadline that they give. And that lack of trust is going to hurt them throughout the year and long term when it comes to customer retention and as well as growing the app, at least right now in this bear market. But
I think if you strip it down, you guys have a meeting, you sit in a room or on a Zoom call or whatever, you guys are all over the place. I think it's a sorry, you got to give respect to the Grogu mug.
I'm thirsty.
But I think it is actually top priority on your list. Despite all the money making and everything, I think the top priority should be sit in the room, gauge the community sentiment, and say, listen, how are we going to fix this? Like, how are we going to fix this? And you're going to be late on the Veveverse. You're going to be late on MCP rollout for everybody. You're going to be late on OUP. We already know this. And we've come to expect it. And that's a good thing for you because people are being patient with you despite being told things 2 weeks ago and not seeing it yet. We're going to give you the benefit of the doubt on the Veveverse that will come out next couple of days for the beta testers. But I do want to talk about a little bit of correspondence and some discussion that's come out on Twitter. And it is our friend Mitch, who I'm very glad to see in the community. He's been responding to a lot of tweets. He's been making a difference. I feel like he's been kind of structuring things that have been so out of whack and out of structure. But I do think that there still is a big place for accountability and customer retention and that type of thing that has not been touched on. And it doesn't seem like there has been any kind of formal way of going about fixing it. Despite, I think the only thing that they actually have done is put out an article that doesn't get updated as often as they said it was going to initially. And sometimes we have to tweet about it and then they update it that day. Like a couple of days ago when we did that. But this tweet here got me going because I wasn't really happy about it. He says he was talking to somebody about someone was complaining about deadlines and he says, correct. I would also prefer to spend the bulk of the effort and focus on doing and not talking. So let us do. And I think that's the biggest red flag is you have to talk. You have to talk. Like people want to hear from you. People want to know what's going on. Your customers now, especially like Rob said, if you're late, if you're giving a false deadline, or if you're giving false hope, then you have to answer to that. You can't just tell people something and then not deliver and then not say anything. Like there's got to be communication right away, especially after that deadline comes through and comes and goes, because that's when you get people really mad and people are pissed off. And then this guy here, he's trolling Mitch and he says, oh, looks like he's just getting pissed off like the rest of the VV team. And Mitch says the heat is not a new thing. It's also a good thing. We know what is expected of us and what has been promised. Getting on with getting it done. Everything else detracts from this. I do not think that communicating to your community detracts from getting it done. I think that you need to have the ability to do both. I think that you have to be able to do both.
I agree with you 100%, but I want to say one thing though.
Yep.
Probably Mitch is on we've seen the community, okay? You have different personalities, and some people they find a way to be critical but respectful. And you sometimes, with social media, perhaps the VV team is getting both ends of the spectrum where you don't always have people coming from a perspective of, I guess, love for the app. It's more to tear it down. Really, they're not looking for a solution. They're just looking to just chirp at the VV team and bring them down. So I think maybe that some of that frustration then spills over to the rest of the community, which I know we try to do. Like we want to be critical, but at the same time, we also want to be respectful, which is the reason why we want to go about it in a productive way. And they have to find a way to understand that the community there's a segment of the community that does want the best for the app, and their criticisms of the app and the criticisms of the team is not coming from a place to tear them down, but to help build them up. So I just wanted to touch on that. I'm not defending the team though, because I agree with you. You cannot make promises and then go into the shadows when you don't deliver them. You can't just put your head down and code, because it just doesn't work that way. You have customers some people who have spent a lot of money. They spent more money than a lot of people want to spend to renovate their backyards. And all they got to show for is not a swimming pool. Instead, they just have some digital collectibles that don't have a Veveverse to go into. Yeah. So, or MCP points in a leaderboard to compete, to show off. So there's a lot of things that have happened, that have been promised, that haven't been delivered. Now you have to be accountable for it. So deliver it. And if you can't deliver it, You have to communicate. You can't just say, let us be on our own to deliver.
You got to be able to do both. You have to have that. You have to be able to talk to your community while the development is happening. It shouldn't be one or the other. That's it. Like, just do that. Have the communications in place. You've got the branding. Now you've got the template. You can go on Microsoft Word. The template's there. You can pull it up. You can fill it in with whatever words you want. And then you could put it on your blog. Now you got a blog. You got places that you can put all of this stuff. Everything's in place now. So there's no excuses anymore. Mistakes happen. Dumbo number 30 goes out again, even though we had Dumbo 16 and Dumbo 26 or whatever the numbers were that happened before. You come out, you say, look, this is what happened. Somebody forgot to turn off this switch. Our mistake. We're fixing it this way. We have to fix it this way because this is what we did for the other guys. It might not have been the perfect solution. We wish that we would have went to talk to those guys. Blah, 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 blah. PR it. Fix it. Give the accountability. Tell them you're wrong. Let the people have the trust again. Don't disappear in the shadows and say it's because we're still working on development. We can't talk to you until we're done this. Yeah, I don't agree with that.
Well, we'll see what happens tomorrow. I mean, look, we know Veveverse probably won't come tomorrow, but it might. You never know. I mean, you got to always give them, even though they miss it every single time, you have no choice. You have to give them the benefit of the doubt with an understanding that they'll probably miss it, but you got to speak from it from a perspective that you're hopeful that it will come. So I am hopeful that the Vivi team will deliver. We've met the guys from Cavernous. We asked them if they can give us some more information. They said ask Vivi, so they're being a little bit tight-lipped about it. But maybe if it comes in April, I still think it's a success. If they can get it out in April, it's a success. I really hope they can get it out in April, and that will be a big step, I think, into building trust again with the community. Because even if they're off by a month, but they deliver a Veveverse, it's now here. This has been long anticipated. It has been a major milestone that a lot of people, when they entered the app, they entered it because of the metaverse crossover capabilities of these collectibles. It's a major, major stepping stone in terms of growing the app, keep customer retention, as well as being accountable because they would have delivered on a promise, right?
And if they're late, come out and tell us why you're late, or just be like, we're going to be late. We told you 2 weeks, but something came up, blah, blah, blah. Like, talk about it.
Yeah, and I actually don't. I personally don't agree with the excuses. All like they're a startup and they have all these things, and that might be true. But like literally every company in the world, big and small, they have a bunch of customers, and they're just constantly being held accountable to deadlines. Mm-hmm. We work in fields where you have schedules, and there's major damages, penalties involved if you are wrong. So you do your best to really sit down and think about it and try to plan it out before you start giving people any kind of ideas of when these are going to be done. Now, there are no damages here, which is the reason why you could be a little bit more loose with your guests. But I think they are seeing damages in the form of broken trust, and you can't buy that back, right? You may not get monetary damage, but you are getting trust damage, and you can't buy back trust damage. That's built over time with relationships with the community. So, Joe, you have anything else to add?
No, that's good.
Guys, let us know your thoughts below about this topic of accountability. Do you think that Vivi can be more accountable for the actions? Do you think that will help them grow this app and bring it back to the stratospheres of the last hype? Will they be positioned in a way that on the next crypto bull run and NFT bull run, they can do well? So let us know your thoughts below. And guys, if you haven't already, don't forget, become a superstar, smash the subscribe button, join the superstar fam, hit the bell notification button so you get every single video every single day. We keep it going. Oh my God, how will we not stop, Joe? How have we not stopped? January, we hit the 1 year celebration and we're like, guys, we may be done. And we haven't stopped. All right.
It's just worked out.
It just worked out. Superstar VIP, $2.99 a month. Get a star beside your name. Get access to our spreadsheets and get the star in the universe. Seriously, you want to look out in the sky. Venus is pretty bright. If you can, and then beside Venus, go one over, and you're going to see Superstar Reese's right there in the constellation. Yep. Guys, thank you all so much. We appreciate you. Take care, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Love you.